I've said it a couple of times on the channel, but I love crossovers. Two or more things coming together to make something absolutely magical. The dream matches, the interactions, the ships, and the what the hell are you even doing here moments. When the topic of video game crossover comes to mind, Smash Bros is usually the king in that department. But what if I told you there was a fan game that did the same thing Smash did, but as a 2D traditional fighter instead of a platform one? Let me introduce you to Card Saga War. Card Saga War features 12 playable characters, each from a different video game series. The rest of them are assists, or cards of the game. You have 4 types of attacks: your normals, your specials, your really specials, and your unique skill. And if you get a card and you're at half health, you can destroy your opponent with an anime style super move. Since you're probably looking at this roster questioning who half these characters even are,
Actually, SK, I know all those characters and their backstories, and I know everything about their games and played every one of their games.
I'm sure you have, Paul. Let's go into detail about every single character in the game, starting with John 117, also known as the Master Chief, comes from the exclusive box game Halo, an outer space first-person shooter known for its amazing multiplayer, fantastic campaigns sometimes, and many weapons. And for Card Saga War, you know the Chief's packing. He's mostly a zoner, but for up close and personal, he has the tools to get the job done. From grenades, to plasma swords, to plasma pistols, to the needler, and playing a bit of oddball in between, the Chief has multiple different ways to deal damage. His special skill is the sniper rifle. With it, you can aim on screen where you wanna, well, snipe. Like, anywhere on screen. And for his super duper, he calls in his homies from the UNSC and does an amazing attack. You are literally getting torn apart. Much like fans were when they watched the Halo show. Aw, come on,
here
man.
we go
Dude, that's
again.
a low
More
blow,
Halo.
man. I'll have you
Man,
know
this
that
is
show's
just
actually
had
really
the
funny,
ability
dude.
to
I
play
loved every single scene in this, and it has absolutely no flaws. The sex scene? Sorry, had to go there. Yeah, this is pretty much how I imagine the green suit guy playing if he ever got in a fighting game. Not bad, it's pretty good. But he's not the only space zoner in the game. The bounty hunter Samus Aran comes from the classic Nintendo game Metroid. The game where you run the areas, gain new skills, run back to those same areas, beat some enemies, and eventually fight the purple lizard. Later she decided to turn that camera to first person for some Metroid Primes, and then her series effing died. Well, I mean, kinda. She had a remake and what the hell is a Federation Force? But then Metroid returned to Metroid Dread, and now fans wait for her to prime once more. Now a lot of her normal moves are just bar for bar like Smash Bros, but once she gets into her specials, that's where stuff starts to get interesting. For example, her special skill is the Morph Ball. Yeah, she can transform into a Morph Ball in Smash, but can she just roll around whenever she pleases? I don't think so. And she has her Ice ability, as well as a ton of other stuff from Prime and the original games. She also has this super duper where she gives you the old Samus Aran barrage and it ends with some woman whispering in your ear. Quite pleasant. Real good ASMR to cool off to, especially for the person who just got hit by it. Yeah, Samus is still a big fat zoner, but I mean, what'd you expect? She's alright. Aetna comes from Nippon Ichi's tactical RPG, Disgaea. She's a demon and an ally to the main protagonist, Laharu. I gotta ask,
Folks, where's the
shirts?
Disgaea is one of the more niche series we're going to be talking about today, but it does have its following. In fact, it's still getting games to this day, which I can't say for a couple of other characters we're going to be talking about. Also, fun fact, despite appearance, Aetna's over 1,000. Take that how you will. Oh, and that thing we've been beating up is also from Disgaea. It's called a preenie, and its voice is very interesting.
He must be hiding, dude.
What's up, dudes? Max here.
Also, speaking of preenies, that's a good segue to talk about her unique skill. She's able to stack 3 and throw them at you. be it from afar or up close. She has multiple tools for combat: axes, blasters, giant spears, magic, sexy beam. Suddenly I feel wrong playing this character. Another fun fact, she is also the only character in this game without a super duper. That's right, I tried it in training mode and it just freezes her in place as she questions to herself where the hell the dev ran off to. Nonetheless, very interesting character. Soul Calibur is the 3D Namco fighting game set in the olden times. But most people know it for its amazing character creator and featuring the dudes with light sticks. And while the game has had amazing guest characters, it has its own unique roster as well. From demonic characters like Nightmare, to weirder characters like Volda. But the one Saga War chose was the whip-wielding Ivy. And yeah, I can see why they chose her.
Got me acting unwise.
For her unique skill, she can transform her whip into a sword, depending on how close she wants to get to you. And depending on who you ask, is probably someone's fancy. But other than that, a lot of the other moves that she has are moves that you would probably see her do in her original game. But I had a lot of fun juggling opponents and trying to keep them up in the air with the whip. Very fun character, just don't get distracted.
My boy.
Gonna be honest with you, I don't think this character needs an introduction, but I'm gonna give it to him anyway. Link comes from one of Nintendo's biggest cash cows, The Legend of Zelda. Whether he's Ocarina of Timing, Wind Waking, Twilight Princessing, Skyward Swording, Tears of the Kingdoming, one thing remains the same. Link will be going on another exciting adventure. Now, this isn't Link's first rodeo when it comes to fighting games. Other than Smashy Bros, he was also in Soul Calibur 2 as a guest character. If you got the GameCube version, which to some people made the other two versions obsolete. Unless, you really want the angry fighty father or the edgy comic demon.
You should kill yourself now!
Anyway, moveset. Yes, he still has the bow and arrow, he still has the bombs, and he still has the boomerang. But that's not all. He's got a hammer, Din's fire, stompy stompy boots. Oh look, a chicken. What the fuck? Great spins, get it in Zelda, limit your energy! And his unique skill, the hook shot. Overall, 0 out of 10, annoying zoner. But for real, he was one of my favorite characters to play in this game. Final Fantasy is the Square Enix RPG with loads of characters to choose from, each with different backgrounds, histories, and entire gameplays. But when people ask which is the most popular Final Fantasy game, 7 is usually the number you'll hear. And the main character of that one is the ex-soldier, Avalanche member, Smash 4 and Ultimate Top Tier, Kingdom Hearts veteran, Top 10 video game crossdresser.
I'll have a slice of that, please.
Cloud Strife. With his big as hell sword, you can definitely get some good ranged attacks in there. But if that range isn't enough for you, you can always go a bit further with his special skill, the Materia. Fire, ice, and lightning are your choices. Don't know why he didn't pack a summon. I mean, if he would have just packed Bahamut, we would have been done here. His limit moves also come in full force as well. And if you need to go one step even further, you can pull out the Omni Slash. Without looking at a tier list, I feel for sure Cloud is definitely top tier. And there's no bad recovery to save you this time. When I tell you to think of a video game series that starts with Xeno, most people are going to jump to the one with the screaming British people. But before Shulk was telling us he was really feeling it in Smash Bros, and before Rex was liking our attitudes, there was another Xeno game. That's right, Xenogears from Squaresoft. Wow! Oh, yeah, another one called Xenosaga. Monolith Soft's and Namco's RPG starring a futuristic robo-girl named Cosmos. Unlike the other series we talked about, this series at the time of this recording is effing dead. After 3 chapters, a few extra minor titles, and showing up as a Blade in Xenoblade 2, yeah, that's all of Cosmos we've really gotten. And all of Xenosaga entirely, really. But let's get into our moveset. which features a ton of moves from her game, including a giant machine gun, a scythe, and a drill that will pierce the heavens. A lot of her moves also keep her in the air for longer than most characters, which is just begging for some air combos. Her unique skill is the Power Seal, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've looked everywhere, I have no idea what the hell this does. I think it's just supposed to make her stronger. What's going on, guys? It's Future SK. I show up whenever past SK messes up. Today's mess up, the Power Seal. He just blatantly didn't know what it does, but it's kind of obvious when you look back at it. He was kind of being stupid. So I'm using Link, and I'm gonna let Cosmos hit me with the Hilbert effect. Here we go. Dang, that sucks. I shouldn't have let that happen in neutral. So here we go. A and B are sealed off if you look at the top. I can't do Din's Fire. I can't do any of the big moves. I can still do these, but those are sealed off. I don't know why SK thought, oh, she's gonna make herself stronger. Dumb. Freaking, what was he thinking? As you can see, no electricity, can do Din's Fire. Yeah, that's basically all SK messed up on. Bye. It's reminiscent of the Hilbert effect from the game, but all that ability really did was help people see the enemy. But like Link, she's one of my faves in this game. Absolutely fun to play. Also, revive the series for the homies.
Please, sir. I want some more.
Shut up!
Mega Man is a popular series with a ton of different versions of Mega Man, each playing very differently from the other. From Legends to Battle Network, there's a lot they could have chose from. But for Card Saga War, they chose Capcom's second version of the character, Mega Man X. The series still had you platforming, side-scrolling, and shooting your way through levels, but now with a whole new coat of paint. Now, you are no longer just Mega Man, the Robot Master Killer. You are now X, the Maverick Hunter. The series also added popular character Zero. And boy, do we love Zero. If you played an X game, then his movement might look very familiar, and his moves are very X-like. Except for some of them, which just take directly from Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. Ryu, Ken, his predecessor. But things start to get different when you use your unique skill, allowing you to change your Y button to a new projectile. This doesn't just change the Y button though, this changes your supers as well. Yeah, he's another zoner, and he'll tend to get annoying fighting against him. But playing him, he is one of the most unique zoners, as he has so much variety on how you play him. And look at that! Look who's in the Super Duper! It's Zero! What did I tell ya? He's just that popular. Chrono is an adventurer that comes from one of the most praised and beloved JRPGs Square has ever dished out. The time-traveling tale known as Chrono Trigger. Now this one's an interesting one, because I'm not going to say the series is alive, but I'm definitely not going to say it's dead. The re-release honor was most recently given to its sequel, Chrono Cross, which features no Chrono. But it's still cool to have, and the original game's still on PC, but at the time of this recording, the original game hasn't been re-released on consoles since the DS. Red Goku series might not have as many titles as Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, or Kingdom Hearts, but even with that, it's still an iconic and memorable title, which speaks volumes. Chrono is one of the most fun characters in this game. He's very combo heavy and very rushdown. If you think the combo's over, guess again baby, you're only on phase 2. His unique skill is that he'll place down a marker for a lightning bolt attack, which is very useful for, again, continuing combos. Another neat thing is that his party members will all help him out in the supers, which is very reminiscent of the actual gameplay in Chrono Trigger, where teamwork is like essential. And that super duper, oh my gosh, bliss. Needless to say, if this character got in the hands of an actual pro, it would be a murder scene. Castlevania, one of Konami's most popular side-scrolling adventure games. Now, Card Saga War had a plethora of Castlevania main characters to choose from the OG Simon, to Richter, to Leon, to Alucard. But no, they chose an interesting individual. From Castlevania Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Souls, it's Soma. If you've played Smash Bros. And you've gone against the Belmont, you know very well you're gonna get items thrown at you. Well, guess what, buddy? You're not safe here either.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Along with the weapons he already has, he has a plethora of spells or souls he can cast out on screen, and they're gonna fill the screen quick. And if that wasn't enough, his special skill allows him to have a persona stand. By changing the input, he gets a different summon. But there are 3 ways that the summon will disappear. A. You do a special. B. You push the Y button again. Or C. It just happens naturally. And when all else fails and he's tired of your mess, he can always pull out his 5th seal. Soma is a very fun character to just toss stuff out and see what connects, see what links together. He's very fun to mess around with. But if you're going against him, just try to stay focused and keep your soul safe and try to survive. Our last 2 characters are goddesses, Valkyries, characters that are probably lucky Kratos is relegated to card tier. Our first Valkyrie is Lilith, from Enix's Valkyrie profile. Her mission is to recruit a group of individuals to help her defend against the upcoming devastation that is Ragnarok. The series is actually still going, without Lilith as the protag. The new game was Valkyrie Elysium. Let's see how that did. Oh. Her normals consist of a lot of sword moves, as her specials deal with a bunch of the different magic spells she did in her game, like the ice one that helps you jump on enemies, or the bow and arrow that might actually rival Link's as the most annoying. Her supers, like Chronos, also have her comrades aid in battle, which again makes sense, as Valkyrie profile had a big emphasis on teamwork in its gameplay too. Her unique skill places shields around her, and her super duper is a giant spear strike. Lilith and Soma were the only 2 characters I had no idea of heading into this video.
I'm sorry, but who are you?
And after seeing both of them, they're really interesting. Might actually pick up their games, who knows. Even a dumpster fire like Jump Force got me to watch some of the anime. Our final character in Card Saga War is Valkyrie, or Valkyrie. Her first game was Valkyrie no Boken, Toki no Kaki Densetsu.
SK, you know dang well I don't know what the hell any of that means.
Sorry Paul, I forgot you only speak American. What I meant to say was the Adventure of Valkyrie, the Legend of the Key of Time. Oh, by the way, if you don't live in Japan, be prepared to do some dirty deeds done dirt cheap to get your hands on this thing, cause it's Japanese only. Her sequel, however, Valkyrie no Densetsu, or The Legend of Valkyrie, was released worldwide. But both are action-adventure games that have Valkyrie come down from the skies above to help fight evil. She's crossed over a couple of times in games like Namco X Capcom or Project X Zone. But if you're trying to play her actual games, yeah, unless you live in Japan, it's gonna be harder to do. And the last thing she showed up in was Graffiti Smash, which, guess what? It's a mobile game, and guess what? It's Japan only. But as for her main series, yeah, it's been a while. Valkyrie's main weapon are the sword and shield, but she has a ton of other jutsus she can use as well. From fire cyclones to wind to go big mode to another really good projectile. She even has a super that allows you to turn your opponent into a Dragon Quest slime, which might remind you, she's not from that series. So, what are you doing?
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
More like the buggy game no jutsu, because that's not supposed to happen.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, if you hit Valkyrie during her specials, sometimes a clone of her will just appear there. Forever. You can't kill it. You can keep hitting it, but it will just sit there, never dying, unlike her series. Her unique skill brings out a mini Valkyrie that will attack and move with you and break many a combo. It even pops off with you when you win. Aww. Let's kill it. And for her super duper, her and her gang come out and clean house, and then proceed to yell. Great character with Mary.
If I had one.
And that's all the characters in Card Saga War finally overviewed. Now before we go, I want to quickly go over some extra things that I really love about this game. First off, the art. Absolutely amazing. The characters, the animations, the stages, gorgeous. Truly backflip worthy. The music, oh my gosh. Just listen, just listen. And there's also a bunch of other remixes too from beloved series from multiple different creators. Speaking of beloved series, let's talk about those cards. Now, there's already a video going over every single assist in the game, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna direct you to that once this video is done. But, I will go over my favorite ones. I haven't really touched the other modes in this game, like the 1 versus 100, which is just you going against 100 different CPUs, or the Coliseum mode, which I think is just a boss fight mode. But I imagine people can have a fun time with that as well. Even just the little things, like how the characters are organized on the character select screen. Armored space shooters, Mom I Can't Explains, fantasy adventurers, futuristic toasters. Whoops, I'm not supposed to be healers, and goddesses. All these things, in my opinion, make Card Saga War a must try. There are 2 versions of the game. The OG version, and the fan-made online edition, which is the one I've been playing for this video. This version adds in, well, the online mode, and fixes a couple of the issues with the game. And adds a Persona stage, which, if you know me, I love Persona, so I have to consume. And with that, we have made it to the end of the video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will take my leave. But first, I will show you this one final assist.
What the hell is this? 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 What the hell is this?